So I'm guessing the retro veto was more of a I hate this mode than a strategic decision.
Yeah, I think so. The swordless veto is probably the same. And they're both off just a 5 rupee to start. Looks like both are going to go grab their sword. Oh, that was a nice map check. Crystal at Eastern, and then 2 of our pendants at Desert and Hera.
That's what it looks like. I didn't see, was Desert a normal pendant, or was it a special pendant?
They were both normal pendants. So, we don't know what our green pendant is, but 6 of our 7 Dark World dungeons will be crystals.
Yeah, that's interesting. Mikan forgetting we're not playing inverted with this bunny sprite here. And here's our Uncle Assured sword. So it makes sense that they're doing this Uncle start.
If they want, they can go straight into the escape area to check those chests.
Oh yeah, they've got a weapon, which is usually the major deterrent in open mode, so it's interesting.
Yeah, the only thing is without a lamp, well, we don't even know if we can get to the back yet. We need a key in the front to get to the back, and the back's out of logic without a lamp or a glove. But they might attempt it if they feel comfortable enough with the dark rooms.
Oh well, and the key. It could be that the key is in Sanctuary Chest, or even in the back of Escape. It can be there too, I believe, depending on where the power gloves are.
Can. So basically, there's only 2 places in the front where it could be. It can be in this first chest here, that as they go down the stairs, or it can be in the dark room chest. The other 2 chests in open mode, it won't put it in there to prevent key locks.
I did not know that. So that's because if you were to steal the key you picked up from that key guard and go through the dark room. I never even thought of that. Wow.
Yeah,
my mind here.
I know a couple runners will like to go to that guard, take the key, and go straight back. Because they'll know they'll get another key in the back anyway. And then they go to the front.
After like a death warp or something. That's really interesting. But we don't see that today.
Nope, they're going to do this traditionally.
Both of them doing a kind of lure the guard toward me strat, rather than kind of traditional NMG.
So far, the front hasn't yielded anything. We got 1 more chest, though. So, killing this spike guard, it's 2 pots or 8 sword splashes.
And Mikan getting that 8 bomb drop.
Oh, that's a nice drop from Mikan.
Yeah. Hitsuyan was thinking about save and quit. It looked like they might have changed their mind for a second there. Maybe they just misclicked. But they don't have any way to kill themselves if they're thinking about doing the dark room.
There's a nice infusion of rupees from Mikan. He's like, go to Kakariko. Looks like Hitsuyan gonna go buy some bombs. We'll see where he goes from there.
Yeah, I've seen people do the buy bombs. It's like a piece of heart on the floating, on the Hylia Island, and then maybe go to Sahashala. It's kind of a funny opening strat, but it can work well because that can be one of the last locations you do check in the light world otherwise. So to get it in early is kind of nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Mikan going through the Lost Woods. Looks like maybe just a green rupee there in the open.
Yeah, green or blue. It's hard to tell with the weird fog.
Oh, but that's a hook shot. So hook shot does not open anything immediately, but once they get access to Death Mountain, that opens a lot of chests.
Yeah, it's Death Mountain. Could be if Aga's required, it gives them West Darkworld access. Which it's too early, I think, even in the early game, to be talking about Aga just yet. We do have a sword.
Yeah, like we don't want to talk Aga yet, but since it's all dungeons, if these runners find like the Moon Pearl and maybe one other piece of their Dark World access, they might go Aga early. It's not going to cost them time if they do that.
That's true, yeah. I think the biggest time cost will be having done it early, like not having the Tempered Sword or Fire Rod or something that could kill up the enemy, or quick up My god, I can't speak. Speed up the enemy kills.
Mikan doesn't find something to speed up enemy kills, but he finds something to keep himself from dying faster in the blue mail. Now that's our only mail upgrade we're gonna see.
Yeah, that is a nice find, particularly because in hard mode there are only, I believe, 13 total heart containers is your maximum.
14 is.
Oh, 14, okay. So you generally do have early hearts, especially early mid or low hearts, early mid game. So having blue mail early is kind of offsets that a bit.
And the hook shot also allows them to stun enemies. Boomerang does not do that in hard mode, but hook shot will still stun the enemies. Oh, there's a boomerang. Only really useful for grabbing items in this one and hitting switches and stuff, but not really much else.
Yeah, you could technically like kill Stalfos with it, like if you ran out of bombs in Ice Palace or something, but let's hope it doesn't come to that.
And there's our other boomerang. I don't know if the boomerangs can kill in this mode. That's a good question. I know they can't stun, but I don't know if they can kill enemies that they do damage to.
I think they can for logic reasons, like an Randomizer could be required for Armos Knights, I think. I forget.
That's good. That's a good point. Just a piece of heart on the library. We're likely not going to come back for that. One more Kakariko check the race game. Little early, Mikan. And there's another green rupee.
He was anticipating garbage, and he got garbage.
And so we're probably going to see a traditional South play now. Didn't really get much out of Kakariko. I mean, Blue Mail's nice. Hookshot is definitely nice. But nothing new really opened from that.
Yeah, the seat is still, like, wide open. Like, no idea where it's gonna lead us first. But with such low amount of progression in Kakariko, I wonder if this is going to be kind of an early bottleneck here. Mini Moldorm, I think, should tell us what kind of seed we're looking at.
Yeah, because we've already seen Saharsala. So unless there's something Mini Moldorm, either we're going to have bottlenecked into one location or... yeah, I'm not sure just yet. We'll see.
Seems like all dungeons sometimes can get really, really linear. Because it kind of reduces the aspect of pendant gambles. And with early bottlenecks, we might be looking at a pretty linear seed here already, but that is still a little early to call.
Hitsuyan's going for this item. He's going to be disappointed when he sees it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think he's thinking, well, I've only gotten 3 items of note. So, you know, that's a good situation to just gamble on the race game having something. But yeah, this time it's... Oh, Moon Pearl from Mikan, but he's still a bunny for some reason.
Moon Pearl's nice. I mean, you absolutely need it for the Dark World, but again, that doesn't really open up anything.
Yeah, if anything, like, yeah, it doesn't hit either away from or toward Aga, because it's going to be needed. In either case that you find, like, 2 gloves or a glove and a hammer, or if you go to Aga, you're going to need the Moon Pearl.
Yeah. So at this point, we've got Eastern, the front of Eastern that's still open. We've got Ice Rod Cave, we've got Agana. Zora's not in Logic yet. The rest of Escape's not in Logic yet.
Yeah, Mikan's so close to 500 rupees to sequence break Zora, but Hitsuyan's got 713, so we might see a bit of divergence here on their decision to route in Zora's domain.
That's one more location down. I'm guessing Mikan's going to go for Saharsala next.
Yeah,
he
so Hitsuyan... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
Oh, yeah, just thinking Hitsuyan, yeah, having already gone to Sahasrara, Mikan, those got Sahasrara and Eastern to do, so this could be a interesting divergent moment here.
And with that Moon Pearl, the sequence break to Zora looks a lot more appealing because you can get into Waterfall Cave, because the Moon Pearl will basically allow you to do a little glitch that allows you to stand up and walk along the water.
Yeah, interesting glitch. It has to do, I think, with the game checking your flipper state and your Moon Pearl state, and the two of those kind of cancel each other out. When you have the Moon Pearl, it just forgoes its normal flippers check, and then you end up walking on water. It's one of a couple of ways that you can trigger that glitch.
So Mikan found nothing. He's going for Eastern. At least, well, depending on the layout, 1 to 3 items can be in logic here.
Yeah, and gonna be able to get 2 at a minimum as long as he does the dark rooms, which I'm sure he will. Hitsuyan is indeed going for the fake flippers.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to go back to Eastern just yet. So he's going to do these fake flipper checks.
So now another weird, very weird check you could do is, because we got the small key, you could go back to escape and check the dark cross room in the back of escape, hoping to get some kind of progression there.
That is another possibility too. The only tricky part about that is finding the key rat in the room right before the room with the 3 chests. It's if you get off script, that key rat can be almost impossible to find.
Yeah, it can be very difficult. Bombs help a lot. It's nice that they have a sword to be able to see themselves. But yeah, that's where a lot of those that sequence break will end, is in that room.
So Mikan has got 2 dungeon items so far, including the big key. Still means only 1 or 2 items will be in logic in here.
Ooh, Hitsuyan having a bit of trouble with this fake flipper setup.
Yeah, he's got it. There is an easy way to set it up using that bush and the ledge down there. Where if you basically stand along the ledge, walk to the bush, and then you slash and immediately go upright, you'll position yourself perfectly. But it takes a little bit of time to learn.
Yeah, that's a classic NMG safe strat for fake flippers. Another way is to damage boost to the edge of the screen by like dropping a bomb or something. Kana Samaria,
Ooh.
Big Chest on Palace.
Nice hint. And we know that Kane is required. And that's everything that's in logic in Eastern. Mikan's going to go for the dark room chest here. 50-50 chance it's his 3rd item. But I think that means Agana's got to have something. I can't think of anything else that's in logic.
Well, Agana's not in... Oh, Agana, right. No, not Aganim. But yes, right, it's got to... It could just be the flippers, though, leading to where Hitsuyan's at right now. Or the lamp leading to whatever Mikan's about to get.
We'll see if this pays off for either of these runners, if they find something.
Oh
Hitsuyan had to dodge that. If you get hit while in fake flipper state, you take an instant death, which is actually a mercy by the developers. That was not an Eastern.
No, that's not what you wanted to see. Hitsuyan completing, getting nothing so far in this fake flippers route. 2 more items to check. I would, if I were either of these players, Mikan looks like he is going to go to Agana, but I would consider that dark crossplay, because at this point you know your opponent could have done the other thing you didn't do, being fake flippers to Zora or Eastern, which might make you feel behind and like gambling.
So, nothing important on the ledge. We'll see if King Scam has anything today.
Yeah, at this point, what can it even be? I think the lamp, I guess, would open up logically the back of escape.
Yeah, well, whatever this is, it's out of logic.
Oh, no, I mean an Agana, sorry.
Oh. Well, there's a bottle that opens up 1 location, but that is out of logic. Yeah, it's either, I think it's either a glove or the lamp.
Oh yeah, right, because glove opens up the back end of escape.
It could also be the flutes.
Oh yeah, good point. That's most probable, I would think, because it opens up the most locations, which is often how progression tends to go.
Hitsuyan's going back for Eastern. Okay, there's our glove. So that opens up the back of escape.
So yeah, we know this is the logical, absolutely required next step. But the question is, what is it going to be from here? It could be a lamp leading to Death Mountain. Could also be a flute leading there, or it could be some Dark World item.
It could be hammer, it could be another glove. It could be the lamp and a sword. And there's your Aghanim access.
Yeah. But we know this has to lead somewhere.
Okay,
oh, there we go.
And that means the Dark Cross item is a map. So Mikan's never going to go back for that.
Yeah, Mikan paying a lot more attention than I am, because I totally missed that. So far, pretty dang linear, and each runner kind of, covering each other's footsteps. Mikan getting out of that route a bit faster than Hitsuyan, I think in part because Hitsu decided to go to Sahasrahla early, whereas Mikan routed those two together. But Mikan's also not done any of the Zoro's Domain stuff yet, which they may have to do eventually, considering it is all dungeons.
Yeah, that flute opens up the item in Spectacle Rock, and with the hook shot, you got 8 more items on the other side of Death Mountain you can get to.
Yeah, so what is it? 7 in Paradox Cave, 1 in
Spiral, and then you've got the one in Spectacle Rock. And they could also go for the Old Man if they want to. That's not a tough dark room.
Yeah, you often see that. I mean, it's easy, quick item to get. It's really no quicker to get with the lamp, and then you get that save and quit spot.
Yeah, not to mention with the flute, having that save and quit point is so nice. It's a quick health refill, and then you can flute where you need to go. And yeah, Mikan's gonna go for that first.
All right, after this, Hitsuyan will also know that Aghanim is required for something.
Well, he should know at this point, because he knows this next room is out of logic.
Yes, good point.
And the Old Man gives you $5 for helping him.
What a sweet guy.
I think if this game had hard candy, the Old Man would give that to you instead.
That'd be the festive mode, right?
Yeah, that might be festive mode. Well, actually, that might have been Halloween.
Oh, that's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, sorry. I'm thinking about the Christmas festive that we had last year.
There are so many festive things, festive times of the year.
Okay, there's our Dark World access, and Mikan blows the flute in celebration.
And a piece of heart requires the hammer, not a particularly useful hint.
So he's coming right back up here, which I don't blame him. Getting that Titan's Bit right there is really nice, because now you can go get 8 items in Light World Eastern Death Mountain, as well as 6 items in Dark World Eastern Death Mountain.
Yeah,
so that opened it up to... Yeah, this is 14 items now.
Still on a pretty linear track, it seems. After Dark Death Mountain, which, seems like a really good play here, we might see Hitsuyan do the same. You only have access to that one Dark World portal. Well, actually, you have access to the Meyer area portal as well, don't you?
Yeah, you do. But the Meyer area portal doesn't really give you much else.
Yeah, all you could really get is the Meyer shed. But it might be too early, again, for me to say whether or not this is going to be linear, because we still have tons of items here on Dark Death Mountain. If we get a hammer, the seed will really open up.
Here's some item checks. Rupees to start. Arrows, bombs, and rupees. Wow, that was not a very good Paradox Cave.
Is this even V30?
I don't know. This is... It is... I mean, we're only 20 minutes in, but usually you feel like you've got more items than this at this point.
Yeah, this is crazy. This could be quite the endurance all dungeon seed. Although, you know what they say, late pro means early go.
It's an interesting saying. We'll see if that
I don't
pans
think
out.
they say that. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was done.
I was just saying, I don't think they actually say that. That might just be me who says that.
Fair enough. So Hitsuyan's going to activate his flute. We'll see what he does right after that. If his next step, at least, is going to go grab those Titan's Myth, hopefully. Fairies in one of the drop pools is always nice.
Yeah. So it'll be only in one drop pool. I believe there was only one instance of fairy in the drop pools. Have we seen the stun drop yet?
I don't think so. Not gonna see it from these enemies, unfortunately. They die to the hook shot. Oh, we have not seen Sick Kid. But that's not gonna help Hitsuyan out. It's only 10 arrows.
Yeah, so Hitsuyan going to where we know the progression lies, and he knows now as well.
And Mikan's back in his native habitat of the Dark World.
Finally, home again. And immediately burrows underground.
Alright, Super Bunny check. There's flippers. We know we need those. We know those get in the swamp because we have to get that cane.
Well, and we have to do swamp anyway.
Well, it could be a pen. Oh yeah, never mind. You're right. It's all dungeons. Yeah, we have to do swamp either way.
So that puts those 2 red rupees that Hitsuyan found in Waterfall Fairy Cave in logic.
Alright, 4 items in here. There's a lamp. Oh, by the way, that was ether on the Turtle Rock. For the Turtle Rock medallion.
I'm glad you spotted that.
So just a lamp from up here, but, you know, that opens up some more things in the logic as Hitsuyan grabs his Titan's Mitts.
Yeah, not a bad thing to have. So is Mikan going to go Mire? Or is he going to go Village of Outcasts? Where's he going? Oh, he's doing the flippers checks that Hitsuyan has already done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder if he's thinking in the back of his mind too, like, I could have just as easily fake flippered there if I had gone to Saha first to get that 3 hundo, which is exactly what Hitsuyan did. So maybe he's just covering his bases and making sure that Hitsuyan didn't get anything over there that he might have missed.
And he does have the flute, so he could even just check. Oh, I think he's... Okay, I see what he's going to do. He's going to check Hobo, then he's going to flute back to 8 to get to the Zora portal a little quicker.
Oh yeah, that's really efficient.
At this point, with the Titan's Myth, we only have, like, as you mentioned, we only have 2 portals open to Dark World. We have the one in Kakariko and the one over by Deserts. The Desert one only gets us into Mire.
Yeah, the Mire area.
Yeah. And we don't want to go to Mire because we already have a hint that the Cane of Samaria is in the big chest of Swamp Palace.
Although when you're on an early hammer hunt, like getting Mire shit out of the way, it's a quick check, 2 items, then you can see what the medallion is on Mire too. I think it can be a good play. It's interesting when you don't have the hammer and all you really have are the Titan's mitts for your Dark World access. You end up inevitably in this kind of counterclockwise loop, and because you're like locked into this loop, you end up missing some stuff on the way, like hammer checks, and you pretty much have to like full clear everything on your way, or take lots of gambles and maybe have to do the loop twice. So what I see people do often is they'll do checks that maybe aren't on that loop to start and get all those out of the way, like Mikan's doing Zora's Domain now, so that he can then maybe circumvent having to get locked into that loop and potentially have an inefficient Dark World because of it. So we know that this Zora's Domain doesn't pay off, but maybe a Mireshed play might.
Well, let's see what Mikan flutes to. If he goes to 3 or 6. He just likes playing that flute.
Or maybe he'll surprise both of us and flute to 8 and check the Ice Palace hint.
No, he's going to 3. He's going to check the bottle. I think the duck doesn't like Mikan because he plays his flute at moments where his Mikan is basically can't get picked up.
Yeah, watch out. That duck might frame rule you if you keep teasing it like that, Mikan.
Okay, he's gonna go through the Kakariko portal and start in Village of Outcasts. Now, with flippers, he does have basically the ability to make the whole loop around. Though, as you said, he'll have to skip some stuff. We see our map. Red crystals in Swamp and Mire. Our green pendant is Pod.
Yeah, so because this is all dungeons, right, we're going to need to do all dungeons eventually, but crystals can be very important. I'm surprised to see the map check this early, to be honest, but apart from telling you whether or not you can access the Pyramid Fairy, also progression tends to be, like required progression tends to be in Ganon's Tower quite often in all dungeons. So to know which dungeons are crystals can be really helpful in deciding when to dip dungeons.
And looking at what their alignment is for pendants, the only thing I could see getting them in GT would be the boots. If the boots are needed for deserts. Because the pod requirements are needed for other dungeons, and the hair requirements are the same. They need for other dungeons.
Oh, good point.
So you kind of... I mean, you want to see the boots early anyway, but... Yeah, you don't want those boots in GT.
Yeah, and because we will get a guaranteed boots hint on a tile, we might know very early if there's any progression at all in GT.
So Mikan's ignoring Thieves' Town for now. He's going to do Overworld to start. You know, Hitsuyan's finished up his Dark Death Mountain. Let's see where he goes next.
If you're gonna skip something on this clockwise loop, Thieves' Town is a good choice because it's like right there at the portal. And I think he's hoping that he might get the hammer before he goes in, so he doesn't isolate that big chest item.
Yeah. And then we start to see some divergence. Hitsuyan's gonna check Mire. Only 2 items here, but he can also check the medallion.
And if one of these items are a mirror or a hammer, this would play a huge difference in his overworld routing efficiency.
Oh, looks like Mikan's going to take the frog for a trip. There's ether that we need for Turtle Rock, but we have nothing else to access it yet. So it's nice to have, but doesn't open anything just yet.
Yeah, so once we get that hammer and a mirror, then the Canis and Mario will be in logic, which will put all of Turtle Rock, well, most of Turtle Rock in logic. Well, actually, we don't know. It depends on what's Fire Rock.
We would also need the Fire Rod for most of Turtle Rock to be in logic, unless the keys are placed very advantageously.
Yeah, that's what I was just realizing.
And then we also, of course, need the Ice Rod to finish it. At least we know Ice Rod will not be in GT. Alright, Hype Cave time. Silver Arrows. Very good start. Shield, bomb, red rubies, and bombs. Okay.
Oh.
Nice starts, ugly finish.
Yeah, considering this is hard mode, the only place we can use those silvers are on Ganon. And what's interesting about hard mode is that you can only get a tempered sword, you can't get a butter sword, but there are still 4 swords in the item pool. So it's just as likely you're going to get tempered. So I'm going to rate that like a 2 out of 10 item personally. But we find the book in Skullwoods.
Nice. So that makes Desert a very interesting play. You've got everything to beat it if it's not boots locked.
Right, and knowing if it's boots locked, you know, might tell you if it's not boots locked, right, then you know there can be nothing in Ganon's Tower. Other than maybe a sword.
But Hitsuyan's not going to go there yet. He's going to go back to the Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, so Hitsuyan doing a much more traditional route, I would say, wherein, you know, you start the clockwise loop, you do Skullwoods, you kind of full clear everything. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him do Thieves Town as well. While Mikan's kind of beelining for these high-density overworld checks, hoping to get something to send him elsewhere, improve the efficiency of his route, and maybe avoid this clockwise thing, but he's ended up having to double dip, essentially, these areas.
Alright, well, is Hitsuyan going to dip into Thieves Town? Looks like he is. Well, not a good start for Hitsuyan. You got the small key to start.
Yeah, he could still abandon ship with like a Death Warp or something, but it doesn't look like he's setting that up. He's got 8 hearts, blue mail, and is avoiding damage, so...
There's the cape. We have not seen Bumper Ledge yet, so that might be needed.
Oh, and would be useful for Lumberjack, which we haven't seen yet either, although we'd need the boots for that.
Yeah, we would need the boots to get the Lumberjack item. So Mikan got both items in here. There was a piece of heart in the book. So he can leave Skullwoods for now, come back and do it later. Got a red potion in Thieves Town as well. This was a big key for sure. And Hitsuyan's gonna continue.
Yeah, like I said, it seemed like they were doing kind of a more traditional full clear everything on the clockwise route. Which Mikan seemed like they were maybe trying to avoid a little bit.
I think Mikan's gonna dip into Thieves Town now as well. So... this is a bit interesting. So when you come into Thieves Town without the hammer, you always are risking leaving an item behind. And that's an item that's hard to get back to. But at the same time, that chest isn't required quite often. Like, even if you have to leave it behind, I think it's rare it's got progression. It's just very memorable because when it does have progression and you have to go back to get it, you always feel burned.
Yeah, well the good news is that I think it doesn't. I don't think Thieves Town has to have progression at this point. But your only other option really is to flip her over to the east side of the Dark World. So I'm guessing that if they have to isolate the big chest, both runners will assume their opponent will have isolated it as well.
That's a fair point.
Which can kind of reduce that dreaded sinking feeling. But of course, at the same time, if it does end up having progression of some type, like just because we're weird creatures, us human beings, we for some reason will assume, oh, my opponent definitely got that early, and then you'll be like panicking, right?
Yeah. Hitsuyan did find the third item in here, so there's only a 33% chance now that that chest does have an item in it. But yeah, I mean, I've had that actually happen in one of my races where both me and I finished up Ganon's Tower in all Dungeon Seed. I had not found the Ice Rod to finish Turtle Rock yet, and I had a handful of locations left, including the last chest in Turtle Rock, or in Thieves Town. I ended up coming back here, Ice Rod was there, but I didn't feel too bad about it because you had to dip Pod to get the hammer. So it was kind of convoluted how you got the hammer. But that's kind of speaking from my experience on how leaving that chest behind isn't necessarily the worst thing.
Yeah, and again, it could be there's not even an item in there. I think we've only seen the compass. I don't think we've seen the map yet. So the map could still be...
Yeah, it's a 50-50 shot, either blind or that chest.
We'll have the map.
Alright, time for a pun? Was Elminster around?
that joke really bites.
Yeah.
Sorry to whoever wrote that. I hope that didn't sting too bad.
Alright, single arrow. That is at least a relief because that's a 4th item. So the last chest in here is the map.
Yeah, so all that theory crafting about maybe isolating the item. But like you said, it is not actually that common, even when you get an early small key, that it'll have an item there. So Hitsuyan now doing the overworld stuff Mikan's already done. I think Mikan... I'm pretty sure all that's left to them at this point is to swim over to the east side of the Dark World. Am I
well, we have that. We have that book.
Ah, right.
And I mean, it's a little bit of a risk going to desert right now, not knowing if you can full clear it or not. But I mean, it is information, and the seed is almost the seed's almost pointing you there. I mean, you do have a few locations on the east, as you've mentioned. We have the pyramid, we've got catfish. Maybe some checks in pod, if it's not bow-locked.
I can't remember if either of the racers took a peek at what was on the desert ledge while they were in that area.
Hitsuyan did, it was 300 rupees.
Okay, so there's really only 2 items there that could progress us. So it's between that and East Side Dark World, which would be Catfish, Pyramid Ledge, and then, you know, up to 5 items that you could find in pod. I don't think all 5 of those would be in logic even in the best case scenario, but maybe like 3.
And it's even possible that none of them are in logic. You could have a map in the first chest pod.
That's true. And I think maybe we haven't seen the purple chest either. I think that's the only other thing that we have to check.
You are right. We have not seen purple chest either. Well, Mikan's gonna go check the bumper ledge. We have not seen this yet.
Oh, good idea. Actually, I totally forgot we got the cape. Surprised Hitsuyan didn't do that too. Maybe they're waiting for like a mirror. I mean, yeah, a mirror or something to make this route a little bit more efficient.
Well, let's see.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's great for Mikan and bad for Hitsuyan.
Yeah, that can be really easy to either forget or to intentionally kind of isolate and say, you know what, I'm going to wait until that's a little bit more of an efficient check with the mirror and or boots to route that in with, you know, bonk rocks, lumberjack check, other things like that. But it's really going to depend on, it would be really easy for Hitsuyan to jump into Dark Lake Hylia and go over to East Dark World from here, which I think would be bad for them. Or if they're going to save and quit and come back for that one item. Or maybe go to Desert.
Okay, so what is Mikan going to do with that hammer? He might go check the pegs. Maybe he'll go grab purple chest while he's over there. We'll see.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. And then the world is kind of Mikan's oyster at this point. There's a lot that he could do with that hammer. He could go up to Tarvhera, although that'd be kind of a long route up there. Could go to Pod.
Yeah, if you went to Hera, you could at least also check the Ether tablet and add a check there. But being a pendant, you might want to just hope that you can route it in with GT.
Yeah, it is always nice if you could last location that, and with only 2 items in the Tower of Hera, that could be a really nice opportunity.
So Mikan grabs the chest, he's going to save and quit so he can flute it over. He's got to save and quit anyway to return it. Just bombs on the pyramid. But this is actually nice for Mikan. He can turn in this chest, and then if he wants, desert's right there.
Yeah, although still I don't know, actually. Maybe faster to flute, even though you're kind of close to the screen.
Yeah. It might be a matter of preference.
But there's definitely like a mental, like, I'm in the area, so might as well do this kind of thing that happens as well.
Yeah, he's going to dip into desert. So he can clear this as long as it's not boots locked. And we will know quick if it's boots locked. But Hitsuyan is going to make the pod play. Now, without the hammer, that doesn't really hurt him. Because you only need the hammer to finish it, really. You don't need it in the front anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. It can slightly increase the efficiency, prevent you from having to take a death warp when you go to the right side, but it's not a huge deal.
Alright, we're about to find out if this is key locked or not, or boots locked or not. It's boots locked.
Okay, well that's good for Hitsu. That could help make up some time for him if he doesn't go to desert before he goes to Bumper Ledge. But I don't know. It's a choice between two checks.
Oh, but
wait a minute.
We did not get cash from Zora. We got the bottle, so that means Catfish has rupees.
So that's good knowledge from Mikan. That could save him the time he just spent going to desert. If Hitsuyan goes Catfish after this.
Looks like Mikan is going to dip Hera now.
So one interesting routing choice Hitsuyan may be thinking about, like, he didn't go to Catfish from Pyramid Ledge. One routing choice would be Bumper Ledge to Catfish, in which case he would lose time by going to Catfish, which Mikan will probably skip, but at least he'll get his hammer.
So far nothing in pod for Hitsuyan, though the front is usually small key dominated anyway, so that's not a surprise.
Yeah, oh, and he does have a red potion, right?
Yeah, he got one in Thieves Town. So he can bottle glitch here, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Bug catching that requires a shovel. We've already done big games, so that is never getting dug up. So if you're a bug catching net fan, I am sorry. And there's a bottle on the ether tablet. Alright, did Hitsuyan got the glitch. So you can check these two items over here. Unfortunately, he's going to have to death warp after this.
Yeah, but it looks like he's setting up early for that death warp on these spikes.
That doesn't help.
Yeah,
we can avoid... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We can avoid the basement for now. Okay, there's the shovel if he really wants the bug net. So what were you saying before?
Oh, I don't even remember. It's no big deal. I guess the seed really wants him to get that bug net.
I guess so.
But it's like pretty much useless in this game mode. I guess you could capture a bee.
Yeah, you can't capture fairies in hard mode, but Hookshot and Lost Woods. Thanks, game.
Yeah, well, they can all be some Marios in Big Chested Swamp Palace, I guess.
So, I have not been tracking Mikan. He got the small key. I don't know if there's a possibility of the basement having something. He'll likely switch to the hammer in a second so he can see. Okay, nope, he's got both items in here, I think.
Yeah, 2 dungeon items.
Oh, no, wait, no, there was one downstairs that he didn't pick up.
Oh, that's... Yeah, it could have been a dungeon item.
So it's a 50-50 chance that Moldorm has the second.
So Hitsuyan, where he was at, was in logic in pod, but now that he's venturing behind other key doors, I believe that these locations are not in logic yet, because he would need the bow, technically, to get these items.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mikan did find the second item on Moldorm, so does not need to come back in.
Alright, so Mikan kind of striking out in terms of getting items in these locations. Again, this could be an opportunity for Hitsuyan to maybe gain some time back. He might be losing by missing out on this hammer. We don't know yet. He might not be losing times by missing out on that. But he hasn't gained any progression in pod for his troubles either, so...
But we're running out of places again. Oh, there's our progression. Okay, so... That's gonna let Hitsuyan get up to Hera a little easier than Mikan was able to.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, even if Hitsuyan does what Mikan has just done, doing Desert and Hera, he'll be able to save time on both checks.
Yep. So good play. And I feel like that's a required play. I think. I mean, I don't know for sure yet, but I feel like Pod's gonna be a required double dip.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what was on the right side, which keys, but I'm pretty sure that not positive, but I'm pretty sure that mirror was bow locked.
Our tracker says there's only one small key on the bow lock side.
Okay.
So in low likelihood that is not bow locked. Because he did find all 4 keys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he found 4 keys on the non-bow locked side.
We're about to get an instant replay from Mikan to confirm here. Oh, dead rocked.
Yep, he's got to wait it out now. Yeah, as we mentioned, Mikan having the hammer is not really going to give him an advantage going in here. Since the bow is not in here, he can't full clear it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else is open to them other than what we've seen. I mean, other than, of course, Swamp Palace, which is about to be open to them, but...
Yeah, that mirror just opened. Once Mikan gets it, opens all of Swamp for him. And he knows Samari is there. So my guess is once Mikan gets that mirror, he's going straight for Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and probably same with Hitsuyan when he gets the hammer. And that mirror does make that bumper ledge play a lot more viable. As I said, like, it might be that he didn't want to check bumper ledge because he was waiting for the mirror. In which case, we thought that it was a great advantage for Mikan to have gotten that hammer, but it could be that just the seed didn't allow that to be converted into advantage compared to the mirror, which is already paying off for Hitsuyan.
So we'll see if Mikan elects to potion glitch as well. I have a feeling he will.
Yeah, it takes a while to get here. I guess not that long since he has the food and the hammer, but like, why not, you know, check everything you can here. Even if some of it's out of logic, which again, we don't know that it is actually out of logic in that room.
Yeah, we'll be paying attention a little closer when Mikan grabs his 2 items on the right if he goes that way. You know, Hitsuyan's got to deal with the Fighter Sword Moldorm, which is a little trickier. He's going to have to deal with the Enraged Moldorm as well, as he just got there. He's going to use the cape to finish it off. Ooh, was that an intentional death by Mikan?
I'm not sure.
Let's see which way he goes. That might have been an intentional death by him.
Okay, I think he's deduced that I think it's thinking. I think he was thinking about key logic, and he's like, you know what? Might as well go to the back half first. I don't need to go to the right side right now. Let's save that till I have the bow. He could be thinking, okay, he's got 3 keys on the chest he's checked. He knows there's at least 1 key on the right side.
All right. Let's see how he plays this. I'm pretty sure he can get to that chest regardless, but we'll be able to confirm this way if that chest is in logic or not. And even if he runs out of keys, he'll likely hammer jump for that big chest. Assuming that the big key is somewhere over here, which I think it is. But Hitsuyan is making the desert play. He's going to find out Desert's bow locked. Desert's boots locked, not bow locked.
Okay, yeah, he's going back for the... He's thinking about the keys here. He doesn't know whether or not... yeah, here we go.
Yeah, that chest could have an item. I think he's trying to figure out his key logic. If that's going to be a small key or not.
Yeah, it really messes with the key logic when you don't check right side first. And I think that it messes with your kind of muscle memory, too, of, like, the key logic. So I think he realized that in normal situations with the keys that he had, then he could just like assume that that was a small key in there, but he didn't check the right side, so he could not assume that.
But here's a new check from Hitsuyan. He's gonna check checkerboard cave. Just a piece of heart, though. So for Hitsuyan, he likely needs to go to Bumper Cave and get his hammer. And I think Swamp Palace is our next play.
So wait a minute. With the keys that with Mikan has 0 keys right now, doesn't that mean that there are 2 small keys on the right side?
No, because Mikan's unlocked every door at this point. He's basically unlocked 5 of the 6 small key doors.
Oh. Okay. Okay, I had a brain for it, I guess. Key logic's hard, you guys.
Alright, so Mikan's grabbing a potion. Well, he doesn't really have any magic. Well, I guess it's just nice to have a potion either way. But yeah, it looks like he's going for Swamp.
Yeah, and Hitsuyan finally getting his hammer, but also with that mirror in tow is going to be able to check the graveyard ledge.
So yeah, we'll have to see if that graveyard ledge plays off for Hitsuyan. Meanwhile, Mikan going into Swamp Palace. 6 items in here. We know 1 is the King of Samaria. And once we've got that, if Mikan goes... Oh, never mind. I was going to say, if he goes to Myra, he can go to Myra, but no. We don't know where Bombos is yet. Hitsuyan trying to avoid the birds. Takes a hit, though.
Yeah, that was quite the dance. Yeah, so it's interesting. They're kind of syncing up here again. Hitsuyan about to get a check over Mikan, but Mikan's done Smith and Purple Chest. He had to do it a bit slower, but I'm surprised actually right now that they've pretty much covered the same ground as each other, but Mikan is still ahead, and that he's checked more things and is in Swamp Palace right now. I thought, for some reason I thought that Hitsuyan had a more efficient overworld route, but it must not be the case, or maybe I'm missing something.
Well, Mikan gained some time early by doing Eastern with Saharsala. As we see, as we see, the graveyard ledge is only 50 rupees.
So pretty neck and neck again then. Like Hitsuyan basically made up the time with that efficiency he gained from the mirror, and now heading towards Swamp as well, it looks like. Still has the Purple Chest and Smith to do, but he can do it more efficiently than Mikan had to without the mirror.
So I'm going through our dungeons quick. We've got all 3 items from Eastern, but we need the bow to finish. Desert does boots locks. We have 1 item from there. Pod, we've gotten most of that out, but we need the bow to finish. Skull Woods, we've gotten both items. Need the Fire Rod to finish. Ice Palace, we still need either the Fire Rod or Bombos. And then we need a minimum of medallions for Meyer and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, still quite a lot on the table. We're not looking at a sub 1 hour go mode, but that never happens in all dungeons anyway.
So that's Keenus Mars right above Mikan, but he can't get to it yet. Red Rupee. I don't think he hasn't gotten the map or the compass yet, so he might go back first. I think, yep, that's what he's gonna do.
Hoping to avoid the left side.
It's not a bad play. Whenever I come into Swamp and I don't get the map or compass from the first 2 chests, I like to come to the back first because of the possibility that maybe, just maybe, both map and compass are on the left side.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more probable when the big key has the potential to lock itself in the big chest, but we know in this case that that's not true. So it's slightly less likely that he can avoid the left side here, but choosing to go back anyway.
Yep, there's the map, and there's the compass.
Well, that's a pretty obvious you need to check left side hint there. The only, bummer here is if he doesn't get the big key in one of these 2 locations back here, then it's a lot more efficient to do left side first, or to have done that anyway.
That's interesting. That's a Bombos medallion, and we're gonna have the Meyer opening pack in here.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very obvious next step.
So we don't. So go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, but I guess with Bombos you could also choose to go Ice Palace just as easily.
Yeah, you could. I imagine these runners are going to do Meyer first. It's a quicker check.
Yeah. Ice Palace you have a lot more time to gain if you can go mode it.
So Mikan's doing fighter sword strats. Hitsuyan's following Mikan through. I think he's taking the exact same route Mikan's taking. So for this boss, you basically have 2 options. You can do fighter sword spins, 1 puff at a time, or you can do the menu boss and bring out the hammer.
Yeah, I think it's slightly faster to do fighter sword spins here, and more importantly, it doesn't mess with your menu time.
That too. Mikan's gonna pull out the hammer to finish off Argus.
Ooh, chat pointing out that if they do go to Meyer, they're electing to do it basically a hammer Vitreous.
Well, you pick your poison. Do you want to do hammer Vitreous or hammer Cold Stare?
That's true, that's true. I mean, if it were me, I would choose hammer Cold Stare, but yeah, that's very true. It's going to be rough no matter what you do. Mikan has that blue potion still in his bag, though, I believe. Or was that Hitsuyan? One of them got a blue potion.
Mikan did.
Okay.
But there's still 3 items in here, including the cane, so Mikan is 100% coming back in.
Willard J. Bradley, who is a moderator, says hammer cold is much easier, so it must be true. But yeah, I would agree with that, actually.
Yeah, I think hammer Cold Stare is a bit easier, though neither fight seems appealing.
Yeah, they both suck. Like, if you die on the boss, you have to do a long walk of shame all the way back to the boss.
Alright, there's the cane. We knew that was there from a hint pretty early on. Do you want to read that aloud?
I'm sorry. What was I supposed to read aloud? Did you get a hint?
No, chat's just being chat, that's all.
Oh, I see. No, that's all right. We can not read that aloud so that the people on YouTube have no idea what chat is saying right now.
Okay, Hitsuyan also finished Argus. He's got his crystal, and he'll likely come straight back in as well. Yeah. I think Mikan was okay. No, he was trying to hit the switch, and the reds. I forget the name. The red jellyfish basically got right in his way. He couldn't kill it.
Sorry, go ahead.
To clarify for chat, we already know what the shovel spot is. It is the bug net. They will never be going for that.
Yeah, there's a couple of overworld spots actually. K45. I wouldn't be surprised if Hitsuyan does that because he also has the Smith purple chest chain to do. Mikan, however, I mean, maybe he could just like walk right over there, but it is a bit more isolated. And if you have to choose between that and the Bombos medallion check, I wouldn't be surprised if he skips that. But I think definitely Meyer or Ice Palace is what we're going to see next, unless we get some other progression here on the right side.
Yeah, I'm not sure what else we could get that would change the routes. But a Master Sword is a very big relief.
I guess a bow, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, you're right. There's not much that would change it.
So, yeah, well, Mikan's going for Bombos. We'll see if he goes for the cave south of the Grove as well. This is an opportunity, too, for divergence if these runners decide to go to different dungeons.
Yeah, so far, not a lot of divergence due to the nature of the bottleneck seed, but Hitsuyan gaining back some early time that he lost by finding a mirror before the hammer. Who knew that that was going to pay off better? Mikan is heading back, okay, into the Dark World, so maybe he's going to check Cave 45 after all. And since Willard is here, I will also call it the South of Grove Cave. But we all know what Cave 45 means, right?
Well, most of us do, but we do like to explain for those who aren't aware of it, who may be a little more, maybe little bit newer to the randomizer.
Yeah, that's true. So named because of early maps that were made of the Link to the Past world, wherein this cave was simply labeled on the map as cave number 45. It has a piece of heart in it in the vanilla game, so you can't really call it the piece of heart cave, because there's like a billion of those, right?
Right. Hitsuyan also has his Master Sword. And Mikan gonna go for Meyer. He's gonna see if he can open it. He's also got the Meyer checks he can do as well. Hitsuyan has already done these. And Mikan also gets his Ether. Now, with Ether and Cane, that does at least allow you to get into Turtle Rock, but without either Rod, as I mentioned earlier, unless you have a perfect key alignment, you really can't get anywhere in Turtle Rock right now.
Yeah, I mean, it could even be required that you go in like for the Fire Rod or something, but those are always nasty moments. If you're in Turtle Rock hunting for an Ice Rod, that's a much more common play, and in some ways a much nicer play than Fire Rod. But yeah, when you're lacking the Fire Rod, it becomes hard to justify going there.
Now, as both winners are going to do Meyer, and they are going to be going into Meyer just seconds apart. Now
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I cut you off.
Each runner has done a few extra overworld checks the other hasn't, but beyond that, they've done about the exact same stuff.
Yeah, and it's interesting that they're both making this choice. I mean, you did get the Cane to Samaria, so it could be like a breadcrumb thing. This is being hinted at more so than Ice Palace, but yeah, as we've been talking about, the Vitreous fight is a bit harder when all you have is Hammer. I guess they have a Master Sword now, that does help a little bit, but not a ton.
And with Sword Beams, Hitsuyan's going to get through this first room a little faster. You'd love to have full magic coming into this dungeon, or full health if you have Master Sword or higher.
Yeah, for those quick one cycle Wizrobe strats, if you can get it.
We got 2 items in Mire. We'll see if one of them leads us somewhere, or if we're gonna go in the Ice Palace next.
Mind of me, our tracker pointing out an interesting strat they could use here with the Master Sword that does a bit more damage than Fighter Sword. The cape still does provide invulnerability in hard mode, although it drains magic, I believe, at twice the rate as normal.
Yep.
But what you can do is a cheesy strat wherein when you're slashing your sword, it reduces the magic drain. So if you just spam your sword, then that's a really good way to do a low percent or low-ish percent Vitreous.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice strategy to use. No fire rods, so they're gonna have to light these the long way. So Mikan wasting a little magic.
Is he setting up for... What is he doing? Is he just having fun?
I think he's just having fun because he's expecting to pick up the full magic here in a minute.
Hey, no fun allowed, Mikan. This is a tournament race. Yeah, watch as he dies here before he gets the full magic drop and has to do magicless Wizrobe Room.
These runners are following each other exactly here.
Yeah, it's not like we've had a universe of divergence, but they have made some different decisions which have cost them or gained them time in different ways. So it's pretty great. No wonder these guys are like 1-1 against each other.
Well, chat pointing out they had they had the same health.
Okay, getting a little cut sync here.
Okay, nice little hint. You don't have to check Mimic Cave.
Yeah, it doesn't do too much except for save you a little bit of time and maybe very slightly reduce the value of the Turtle Rocket play, especially without the Fire Rod. Because that would be one location that could very easily be in logic in Turtle Rock. Versus like Laser Bridge, which would be really difficult for the keys to be laid out in a way that you could get there without the Fire Rod.
Still none of the items in... We've seen nothing in Mire yet. We still have both items out in the open. We've only got 3 spots left to check.
Hitsuyan, I think, quaffed a blue potion there, so I don't think he has any other healing left to him for the Vitreous fight.
It's going to be important.
Yeah, I believe Mikan still has his blue potion, so that could be significant.
There's our first item in Mire. And there's a fire rod.
Alright, there it is.
So that opens up some interesting stuff. You can finish Skullwoods now, though we have both items out of it. Ice Palace is already open, but it's a little nicer now with the fire rod. Oh, our chat's saying Hitsuyan filled all his bottles.
Oh, he did? Okay, alright. Mikan picks up hard, but unfortunately loses it immediately on those spikes. But yeah, low health here. I think he's going to have no backup safeties, because he's probably going to quaff that before he gets to Vidi.
Well, if by some reason Mikan dies, I'd imagine he'll just leave this alone and come back later. Because at that point, there's really no difference between coming back later and taking it out right now. I think the same will go for Hitsuyan. Since you have both items, there's if you do take a death for some reason, there's no incentive to finish this now.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, thinking about the plays available to them, Ice Palace makes a lot of sense. Although you can't get an item at Moth, the cool thing is that you could use that as an excuse to check Pedestal, which is at least an item check of some kind.
And with the Fire Rod, you do at least have the option to start Turtle Rock. You can get through most of it now. Mikan does drink one of his potions, which is a good idea. He goes down to a heart.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had 2 potions, so he's got at least 1 more potion left, and I think he'll be fine on this fight. Yeah, the Turtle Rock play is much more viable. Interesting thing here, there is a weird strat that I'm pretty sure at least Mikan is aware of, that allows you to dip Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod a little bit more safety. Mikan doing sword spins with the cape. Oh god.
You gotta be careful, because those eyeballs still hurt. Oh, he's down to a heart. Use that blue potion.
Yeah, Hitsuyan having a much safer fight. I don't know if that was Mikan's only safety. Yeah, look at this. He's not even done with his magic yet. You can see the real difference here between these cheesy strats and the normal strats.
Mikan's catching up a bit here, but Hitsuyan's fight is gonna give him a little... I don't want to say a lead, but gotta give him an advantage. So I think Mikan's trying to corner the eyeball on the corner. But Hitsuyan finishes first.
Oh god. I think he can take another hit if he had to, but yeah, okay, he's good. Victory's down. So yeah, what I was saying about that strat to go Ice Rod hunting in TR, it's maybe a little bit early for them to make that choice, but if they did make that choice, they could safely leave a mirror portal at Laser Bridge and still come back to it. And this is a strat I like to mention when it does come up in a seed, because it is relatively obscure still. But how that works is, you normally can't return to the light world from the dark world and retain your mirror portal, because a save and quit will make it go away, and a mirror obviously will make it go away. But what you can do is take an overworld death and save and continue. So as long as you haven't defeated Aghanim, then that will return you to a light world location, and you can hop back in at Laser Bridge after you find your Ice Rod elsewhere.
So Mikan's gonna refill his bottles. I think Hitsuyan's gonna do the Pyramid Fairy. He's gotten both red crystals now. So we got divergence here. Hitsuyan's doing Pyramid Fairy. Mikan's going straight for Ice Palace. So, kind of another moment. Who's going to come out ahead with these checks?
Yeah, Hitsuyan maybe thinking doing some of those overworld, like again, he hasn't done the Smith Chain, he hasn't routed in Graveyard Ledge yet. Or sorry, Grove Ledge.
Okay, let's see what Hitsuyan gets. Heart Container and a Heart Piece. So unfortunately, that doesn't pay off for Hitsuyan. We'll have to see if Mikan gets a hint for it by chance, because if he does, that's some time he could save.
Oh, you mean if Mikan gets a hint for it?
Yeah, if Mikan gets a hint for the red bomb in here, he could potentially save that time.
Okay, Hitsuyan following close behind Mikan. It makes sense. Always be clearing. Clearing dungeons, that is.
Okay.
See, Ice Palace for superior play, you guys. This is why.
But then again, if they'd come into Ice first, they wouldn't have that Fire Rod.
That's true. Hey, none of that logic in here. But seriously, though, I mean, since V30, in Maya right now, you have 2 item locations and 1 hint that you can check. In Ice, you have 3 item locations and 3 hints, which does increase the value of it just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a nice little bonus to coming in here. Even if you don't find anything, you might find a hint that helps lead you somewhere else. Alright, here's our third hint. And that's the Pyramid Fairy hint.
Wow, calm curse, or I guess it's not really a curse, but you predicted it.
Curse for Hitsuyan, bless for Mikan. Unfortunately, so far, I think we've seen one item in here, but we haven't seen much else.
Yeah, we haven't seen much yet. Hitsuyan setting up the Ice Palace bomb jump. Here we go.
I think that was our second item.
So pretty neck and neck right now. I would say Mikan has a slight advantage since he's done Purple Chest and Smiths already, and also Haunted Grove ledge, Circle of Bushes, Cave 45. Okay, it's just Cave 45, and then also of course has that hint to avoid Pyramid Fairy. But it's of course, you know, that lead is so small it could be lost or gained by a bunch of things that are still left to find.
Mikan's setting up for a bomb jump. That bomb jump's a little nice because it gets you to this room a little faster.
Yeah, this Ice Palace route is definitely in vogue right now. I believe it is faster, but it's also just the cool thing to do.
So we've seen two items in here. We haven't seen the third. Well, there's the third, I believe. And I think that means closed stairs a key, so Samario is required for this. But we don't have another piece of progression now. So,
yeah,
Turtle Rock's looking better and better.
Yeah, not much else. Yeah, I can't think of. I mean, there's like a couple of overworld locations, and that's it. I mean, Spy Cave.
In terms of the pedestal, if people actually want to know that, the only thing that really could lock us up there at this point is the ice rod. Nothing else that we need could be there.
Yeah, because they're all. Yeah, both bow and boots would be required for pendant minions. But of course we can't get that without the bow, so yeah, it's not just thinking about the options, not necessarily what's currently available to them.
Oh, I guess I was wrong on my key counts, but yeah, still nothing in there for them.
Right, so Mikan, although Hitsuyan finished Fitcher's first, Mikan getting out there slightly earlier since Hitsuyan did the Pyramid Fairy first, so gained at least a minute there, maybe a little bit more.
This might be the Turtle Rock play for Mikan.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything left on Death Mountain for them other than Spike Cave. Which could be an option, actually, because if it's got Ice Rod, you wouldn't want to... You wouldn't want to do that after Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and I think Mikan's actually going to go for Spike Cave first. This actually isn't a bad play because you can dip Spike Cave with a full magic meter. Then you can take the route through Super Bunny Cave up towards Turtle Rock if needed to grab the full magic there.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, and since they have the mirror, they can take that route up and still mirror back and open up Turtle Rock just fine. Interesting fact about hard mode I learned the other day. If you quaff a magic potion when you're in Spike Cave, it refills all of your magic still.
Yep, that was left in to make sure you can actually get through this. Just some bombs. Mikan saves and quits. Hitsuyan on Cold Stare, he had to drink a potion, but he's just going to spam some Fire Rod to finish it off now.
Okay, I think that was more like a 2-minute difference. I wasn't sure exactly on the timer, but I think that was closer to a 2-minute than a 1-minute difference there between the Cold Stare finishes. And again, Mikan having cleared slightly more overworld as well. And the seed is still feeling pretty linear.
So, yeah, Mikan has just enough magic so he can use the medallion on the... to open the dungeon, and then he'll get a full magic when he steps into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I guess all he really needs is the magic to use the medallion. Hitsuyan... No. Yeah, all he has left up here is Spike Cave and Turtle Rock as well. But he's going straight for Turtle Rock.
Okay, so go ahead. Sorry.
No.
So 5 items in Turtle Rock. We've already eliminated Mimic Cave.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to contain progression point, right? I mean, I don't think there are any other overworld locations left that we haven't checked that are open to us.
Not that I can think of.
And it could very well be that it has multiple items of progression. If Hitsuyan can avoid Spike Cave, which is a little unlikely, but he could gain back some of that time he's lost by doing Pyramid Fairy.
The other hint, the unique item requires the hammer. That could easily have just been referring to Samaria in Swamp Palace.
Yeah.
And that confirms you did need the Fire Rod to come in here.
So just to remind folks about the race where it stands right now, these opponents have faced each other twice in the tournament already. They've each won one race against the other. And as it currently stands right now, as far as challenge is concerned, which might not be the most up-to-date, but what it says is Hitsuyan has 7 wins, 6 losses, and Mikan has 4 wins, 3 losses. They're both vying for that second place spot. Gem currently is in first with 11 wins and 1 loss, so it's unlikely that they're going to overtake Gem. A miracle would have to happen. But they're kind of competing against this second place spot. So this win is really important for their tournament future.
Yeah, I'd say maybe a little more for Hitsuyan because he's only got 1 more race after this to improve his standings.
Good point.
Yeah, and Gem did lose a race. He actually lost a race to Mikan.
Oh, well. Yeah, and Mikan has a lot of his races left to finish. This is just about the halfway point for him in his tournament, so it might seem a little close. Their ratio is very similar, the win-loss ratio, but that's just assuming that ratio is kept up. It could very well be that Mikan wins most of the rest of his races, or it could be that he loses them. We don't know. But if he's won one against Gem, who is 11-1 otherwise in this tournament, I would imagine that that he might even be a favorite here to get that second place spot.
Well, the interesting thing about coming into the group stage between Gem and Mikan is, I believe Gem was 15th in the qualifiers and Mikan was 17th. So those two, at least in terms of qualifiers, finished very close to each other. So essentially we're talking about the bottom group from the top tier players. Oh, put some clothes on, Bunny.
We got to see it, folks, finally. The bunny form of the bunny sprite.
Yeah, well, So while I was finishing, yeah, Gem is basically towards the bottom of the top tier, and Mikan is at the top of the second tier.
Yeah, and I'm not positive where Hitsuyan placed in the qualifiers. But he's won one against Mikan already, so and he's not far behind right now. It's totally possible for him to, I mean, easily possible for him to overcome Mikan at this point. It just depends on how the seed goes and how well these runners execute the rest of it. But in a linear seed like this, execution becomes so much more important. And I'm not sure if I've really seen a big difference there. I mean, Hitsuyan had a better Vitreous fight than Mikan, gained a little bit of time there, but I'm not sure if that was really execution as much as it was just cheese game knowledge. I don't know. It's hard to categorize that. Mikan might have had a little bit faster of that hammer cold stare fight.
Yeah. I just want to throw Chad a bone here too. If you're still looking for some way for this seed to get these runners, there's one way still that could really get to them, and that is boots in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, that would be interesting. It wouldn't throw it too far out.
But so far we've been through a good chunk of Turtle Rock. We haven't found anything, but we're about to get to the most item-dense part of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, with our runners pretty close together, too, entering this area. I'd say about a minute apart. A little bit less, looks like.
Alright, so without boots, these are a little tougher, but not too bad. Though if they want to, there's the bow.
Yeah, you can do the laser bridge in one fluid motion, but just like the boot skip, you have to practice it. But Mikan going for a really safe strat to just kind of wait and time. Here we go. So, this is a small key.
Yep, that's be a small key. So we're not going to be able to finish Turtle Rock, but that bow's interesting. Eastern has nothing, but Pod, at a minimum, has the green pendants. Might have another item as well.
Good point. And here we see Mikan mirroring out. He could just be doing that to flute, but this is where that really obscure strat might come into play that I mentioned earlier, wherein that mirror is actually possible to save. So as long as he does not re-enter the dark world and use the mirror again, or save and quit, he can actually return to that spot on Laser Bridge by taking an overworld death and selecting save and continue. So he's going to Palace of Darkness. That does not require the mirror, but he could choose to chain that with Eastern by using the mirror there, which would get rid of the portal. And it just comes down to like game knowledge and whether or not you think it's valuable. Hitsuyan, unfortunately though, if he was thinking about saving the mirror portal, decided to mirror back to the big chest entrance before mirroring out of the dungeon, it looks like. So he wouldn't be able to hop in at Laser Bridge. But that could be significant. If Mikan is indeed trying to save the portal, that is a huge time save to the order of like 2 or 3 minutes, or maybe even more. I'm not exactly sure how long it takes to get back to Laser Bridge when you've opened a little chest already.
Well, I guess the thing is, does he find Ice Rod on Helmasaur? If he doesn't, then it's kind of all a moot point.
Well, the thing though is that there's not many locations that the Ice Rod could be, though. So, and I think he might have checked all of the mirror spots otherwise in the game. So there's no reason that he can't still save the portal. In fact, what else is available to them other than Helmasaur and the items that unlocks?
Well, I guess here's another question, too. Is it really worth it for Mikan to save it? Because if he does, then he's going to have to come back here for Eastern later.
But the difference is walking to Eastern Palace from Flute Spot 5 versus going all the way back through the Turtle Rock dungeon. So I think you would still save a few minutes by doing that. It's just a matter of, does he have that game knowledge and does he think it's worthwhile to do that?
Yeah. Anyway, going back to where we are, Hitsuyan, by virtue of already clearing the Bowlock side, is going to be able to do this a little faster than Mikan.
Yeah, so already ahead in the dungeon. Yeah, depending on what happens in regard to that mirror portal, this is like neck and neck. I kind of want to see the mirror portal save just because I'm a big fan of obscure stuff like that. But on the other hand, I kind of want this to be a very close race. And if Mikan doesn't save the portal, then it's going to be very insanely close.
Yeah, if this is close, I might give the advantage to Mikan. Just, I think he's had better execution in this seed.
Yeah, I think he might have a slight execution edge. Of course, it could easily come down to GT Big Key if it is this close.
All right, here's the Helmasaur fight. By the way, if you ever get a chance to see Helmasaur in the Mothula room in Randomizer, you should take it.
Oh yeah, it totally freaks out the fight.
Alright, both have the mask off. Hitsuyan's got it down, Mikan's gonna do bow.
Oh god. Luckily he has blue mail, so this does not hurt quite as hard.
Oh, there's our ice rod.
Okay, this is the moment. If there is a moment to save the portal, this is it.
But we're not in go mode yet.
Oh no, Mikan selecting the mirror. So that, I think, I'm just gonna say that could have been, depending on where the boots are, because we still need those for go mode, but that could have been like a pretty safe win here, because I mean, you do have to walk back to Eastern Palace, but you get to avoid the walk through Turtle Rock. So I'm going to say that was maybe cost a couple minutes there.
Yeah, but I think you also have to factor in an extra climb up GT or Death Mountain 2 there.
Well, you have to do that eventually, right? Oh, I see what you mean. He's trying to get rid of all of the locations down here on the...
Yeah, because at this point, you can finish Eastern, you can go finish Skull Woods, and then you can go finish Turtle Rock, go straight into GT.
That's true, yeah. I think it would still save time, but you're right. I'm not 100% positive that the time it would take to come back off the mountain, come back on the mountain, and come back to Eastern Palace, I still think it would save a good minute, at least. But I'm not positive. So it might not be that significant of a save.
Yeah, at this point, they have the ability to get all 7 crystals, so I'm pretty sure they might go check. I think they'll both go check Green Pendant just because they're here, and then they'll go for Skull Woods, Turtle Rock, and then GT. And it is looking very likely that the boots are in Ganon's Tower, unless they're on Trinex. Because we know they're not going to be on Armos. We know they're not going to be on Mothula.
Yeah, it's most probable that it's in Ganon's Tower at this point, considering it is currently logically open to us, and there are 21, well, minus some dungeon items, potential locations in Ganon's Tower that it could be.
Okay, this is interesting. Hitsuyan's gonna float away. Mikan pulled out a bomb. He's going to go check Saharsla. He pulled out the bomb so he doesn't walk into the portal.
Oh, good catch. Yeah, so if you didn't know this trick, if you hold an item over your head, you won't bonk through your portal, and you can walk through it just like he did right there.
So a check ahead. This is going to give Hitsuyan a little more time if it's nothing. Pulling out that flute. Just rupees. So that's going to let Hitsuyan get several more seconds ahead of Mikan.
Yeah, I would say that Hitsuyan is now pretty solidly, no, I shouldn't say solidly, but he is definitively in the lead, just not that much of a lead. Maybe I'll say it that way. it really depends on, you know, big key where the boots are in GT. I think we know at this point that they are in Ganon's Tower, don't we?
They're in Ganon's Tower unless there's one item left in Turtle Rock, and it's on Trinex.
Oh, right. That's true. That could be the other possibility. But I wasn't counting items, so I'm not positive.
Yeah, neither am I, actually. But this race easily can come down to Ganon's Tower basement routing decisions.
So I don't know if you saw when Mikan picked up that bomb, he kind of threw it and it damaged himself to the west towards Sahasral's hut. Glam seems to think that was a deboost. I think that if that was an intentional deboost, that is the coolest deboost I've ever seen.
Yeah, if that was intentional, that was very, very nice. Alright. Hitsuyan's on Mothula. Mikan will be there in a matter of seconds. Hitsuyan's trying to stay close to Mothula. He's taking several hits, though.
Yeah, it's Moth not cooperating with his pattern here. We'll see if Mikan has a bit more luck. But he's been just hugging the ceiling, which really sucks.
So Hitsuyan has Mothula down. Mikan's getting a little bit better luck with Mothula.
Also, hitting him on the head helps to keep him off the top of the ceiling, so Mikan gained back some time there. This is very close.
Next up is Turtle Rock. Hitsuyan's heading straight there. It's kind of curious if either of them might go for a potion. But I think they're both still good on potions, so...
Yeah, Glenn calling out that he thinks that they are 10 to 11 seconds apart. This is crazy. I'm almost glad. I'm almost glad that Mikan didn't save the portal. But I am curious if it would have saved time, how much time it would have saved.
May have to run some checks afterwards. Set it up. So yeah, but even though Hitsuyan's ahead, any execution errors or execution advantages could flip this back and forth quite easily. And of course, as I've mentioned, GT route is key.
Yeah, I mean, Glenn pointing out that Mikan lost a good chunk of a second with a bad crystal catch, so a definite huge execution error, not at all Kappa. Yeah, I think that there is no location not in GT that the boots can be, other than the mushroom being in GT, which leads to the boots. I'm pretty sure we've seen everything else at this point.
That's a good point. It's not necessarily the boots are in GT. It could be a fetch quest leading to the boots.
Yeah, that would be a little nasty, because then they'd have to, well, I guess they wouldn't have to double climb, unless the Ganon's Tower Big Key is also on the torch. Okay, so mushroom leading to boots, Ganon's Tower Big Key on the torch. That That would be kind of an FU, but it wouldn't really make a difference in who would win out, I think.
I mean, here's what I know chat wants. They want mushroom. The mushroom to lead to powder. Powder leads to boots.
That's the dream. Yeah, and then the powder being in Towel Room.
Well, well, yeah, I guess mushroom powder you can get in either order. Powder to mushroom to boots, or mushroom to powder to boots. Either one works.
God, just a room or two apart here.
Jeez, chat is even getting worse at this. Powder to mushroom to boots to get the GT big key off the torch.
I thought that was my idea, wasn't it?
Maybe it was. Maybe I misunderstood.
Chat, are you stealing my idea?
Alright, so Hitsuyan's still ahead, but only by maybe a couple seconds. Ooh, add a couple seconds to that.
Yeah, I was going to say, he gained some time, I think, via execution in Turtle Rock, but he just lost it again. And now it's back to that 10-11 seconds that Glenn called out earlier.
But we've got a Trinex fight coming out that's most likely going to be a Hammer Trinex. This could decide some stuff, and they've got to be... a fight like this, magic management is also key. I'll say, Mikan, do not leave that full magic behind.
Yeah, both runners placing the Samaria block down first to get full advantage of that full magic drop.
So Hitsuyan already has one head down.
Oh, Mikan missing the ice rod.
Oh, he didn't mirror, so he can't pull his fire rod out. Oh, sorry, I mean, he didn't pull his fire rod out before the head died. Why'd I...
Yeah, he's so Firehead, or sorry, Icehead down for Hitsuyan.
Oh, Mikan's gonna burn his potion.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I didn't know he had safeties. Sorry, you rip your ears.
But he had to use a potion on this where Hitsuyan did not.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to go ahead and say that if Mikan does have an execution advantage, it's not enormous over Hitsuyan. You know, they've both kind of had to suboptimal moments, you know, like Hitsuyan needing to quaff a potion at Cold Stare, Mikan needing to quaff a potion here. Yeah. Neither of them taking a death.
They get a tempered sword off of Trinex. That's the only other thing they really could have wanted in this seed. And now... well, we might as well get this game going.
Oh, good idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, 22 chests in Ganon's Tower. One of them has the GT Big Key. Get your guesses in chat. We're going to have to make this game quick. We're most likely going to be going by Hitsuyan. If you have subscribed to any of the Speed Gaming channels or have donated 250 bits or more, you're eligible to be entered into the leaderboard. Sorry for the quick text. We got to get it in before they get into GT.
Glad you're on it.
So yeah, as we said, Hitsuyan's going in first. We will go by his count, even if Mikan finds the big key first. Last couple seconds to get him in.
Oh my god, there is like 3 seconds differentiating these runners right now, I believe. Yeah, 3 seconds. Let's see GT routing.
Chest 1, small key. Chest 2, blue rupee.
Oh, Hitsuyan going right.
Mikan's gonna go left. We have divergence.
This is not what I wanted. I wanted to see them go the same way and have it all come down 100% to execution. But it still could. It just depends on where it is.
Remember, we're going by Hitsuyan's counts, even though as Mikan finds new items.
Small key on the torch could mean that logically the torch is required for GT. It won't be for these runners.
Right.
Oh my god.
And I remember.
Oh no.
Oh, he ran out of magic.
Yeah, that blue bar, he just totally kept fire blocking him there.
Boots, we have the boots. I was about to say, there's that unique item requires the hammer. That could have been referring to the boots.
I
get the boots first.
Because Hitsuyan ran out of magic, decided to go to the left side instead of to redo it and grab the magic pot to go right side. So he lost a little bit of time there, but now they're on the same route, which has evened up the game a little bit. And it's not necessarily going to come down to big key. It's going to be execution based again.
Right. So for Hitsuyan, this is 4-7. Even though Mikan's ahead, we're still going by Hitsuyan. He came in here first. And that might have been the reason Mikan went left, because he remembered that hint. And the off chance it was the boots hint.
Oh, interesting.
But we're up. Alright, we're actually that was chest 8 for Hitsuyan.
Yeah, Mikan at what will be for Hitsuyan 9, as long as he doesn't mirror out and go right side or something.
Yeah, and we have to go by Hitsuyan, but for example, let's say Hitsuyan opens the chest in a different order than Mikan here, and it's in here.
Right, yeah.
Unfortunately, Hitsuyan just... We're going to have a momentary stream...
Well, just looking at what Mikan grabbed in Rando Room, if Hitsuyan had stayed right side, let's say he had done full right and gone all the way to Ice Armos, he would have gotten the big key faster than Mikan on that route.
But he would have decided to come left for boots. I don't know. I don't know if Hitsuyan's stream went down. We'll just keep an eye on Mikan for now. I guess maybe we'll go by him since they've been kind of opening him in the same order. If his stream doesn't come back up.
Yeah, we might have to.
There's powder. Bob was guarding the powder. Mikan tried to set up with a quick kill. I think he got a little off, though. Oh, Mikan's down to 2 arrows. He's going to have to use sword slashes.
Oh my god, we do not see a sword Ice Armos very often. I can only speculate, though, that this might gain Hitsuyan back some of that time he lost by starting that right side check. So this could be good in terms of a close finish for us.
It was right side.
Oh no, it's compass room on the right side.
Well, it could also still be tile room.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Hitsuyan's stream. We'll see if it comes back. But at this point, I think we'll just track Mikan. Since they entered about the same time, we can count. For the GT Big Key game, we'll just make an executive call here. Since they entered about the same time, we'll just go by Mikan now.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Unless Hitsuyan's stream magically comes up before we find the big key on Mikan.
Now Hitsuyan could still be playing. I mean, if he's recording locally, he still can be playing, and later we can just look at his recording. But we won't do that, of course, in the game. In terms of the race, though.
Yeah. In terms of it being an official race, it's fine that his stream is not viewable to us now. It still counts.
Okay, we're gonna count that for the game. Chest 18.
All right, if you guessed 18, congratulations. Maybe we should just like make up what's happening on Hitsuyan's side.
I mean, this is kind of cruel for us now, because we're going to watch Mikan climb, but even if when Mikan finishes, we're not going to know what's happening. And it's worth noting, once they're done with GT, they're not done with this seed. They have to take those boots and clear deserts. And then they have to go climb Aga's Tower.
Oh my god, oh my god. Sorry. God. Oh. Yeah, that's true. There is quite a bit of execution left in the seed. So Hitsuyan, when we last saw him, was not far behind Mikan. He was maybe 30 seconds, would be my guess.
Oh, Mikan's got to be so careful. He's probably gonna take the safety room at this point.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was like, why are you using the cave? Yeah, with one heart, I don't know if he has any safeties right now.
Oh, our winner of the big key guessing game was Rocky2418. So he's entered onto our leaderboard now. I don't think he was on there before. If he is, he's below 3. So. And for all we know, this race is already done, but we're not looking at that IRC until we see it done on our end.
It could be, I'm just speculating here, but it could be that Hitsuyan accidentally closed his restream software before he was finished because of the stream delay. It's hard to get used to sometimes.
Yeah, but like I said, we're not checking until we see Mikan done.
Yep. Okay, missing the 1 cycle, so that could be another opportunity for Hitsuyan to gain back some of that time here. But 2 cycle is not bad at all still, so... That's an easy one to miss. Hitsuyan might miss that as well.
Alright, so Mikan making really good work through this.
Alright, going for that reach across the gap with the lamp. I'd love to see that. Completely out of magic now. Checking chests maybe for a bottle. There's still a 4th bottle out there that could have a potion in it.
If he's at 3 heart pieces, maybe.
Yeah, refill. Yeah, because he can't heal up with this powder here. He could just get 2 hearts maximum from these anti-fairies and bunny beams. Luckily, though, the full magic still does heal all magic in this game mode, so...
We're on the Moldorm 2 fights. Mikan's gonna ignore it. He's gonna go for Aga 2. Alright, so Mikan is on his Aga 2 fights. A couple more hits. Alright, Aga 2's down. Mikan still has to go finish Desert and Aga 1 though.
Yeah, I didn't see what the pattern was there, but seemed pretty quick anyway.
Alright, so I gotta imagine Mikan's gonna go Desert first. he'll save Aga Tower so he can get a refill right afterwards.
Oh yeah, that's smart. Or maybe I guess he's thinking if I defeat Aga 1 first, then I can easily get back to the pyramid by saving quitting from the Dark World. Yeah, so I think this actually might be faster in terms of overworld route.
Alright, so the Aga Tower is a pretty standard climb. Like, there's not a lot that can go wrong, but at 4 hearts, yeah, it's still a little iffy. You gotta be a little careful.
Yeah, luckily, yeah, they have Blue Mail, Tempered Sword, but yeah. You don't want to die here, and pits still will deal 1 heart of damage, so you could very easily lose that by something like if you get knocked off into a pit by a guard, that's half a heart, and then you lose a heart in the pit, and you could take another half a heart on your way down into the pit even. Easy way to lose health.
Alright. So Mikan's continuing his climb. Alright, Mikan, this bridge is a little rough, but Mikan gets through it nicely. So Mikan is about to fight Aga 1. We're gonna see how many blue balls he gets.
Yeah, that's right. The second game, guessing game, although there's no bot for this, it is always fun to try to guess how many blue balls he's gonna get. I'm gonna say 0, just because I'm so nice. I lose. There's 1.
Yeah, you know, we still don't know where Hitsuyan is. I mean, we won't know until we look at the results afterwards, so we're not going to do that until we see Mikan finish. Oh, not the kindest one. I think that's the 3rd. He's gonna get an extra lightning bolt.
Is that one hit left, I believe? I've lost track.
Now, even though this pattern is unique or the same for both runners, at this point in the race, when you're so close to finishing, every blue ball you see here is agonizing. Even though
agonizing.
Okay, yes.
I see what you did.
Yeah. Okay, nice one. But yeah, even though your opponent got the exact same pattern, every blue ball is just a kind of just this painful because you feel like it's an extra second you're losing.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, if you're unaware about Randomizer, the pattern that you will get, the RNG you'll get on Ganon and on Aga, are both fixed, so your opponent will also get the same pattern, unless you happen to die or do something weird during the fight.
Alright, so Mikan has to come find the big key. He did not get that earlier. Big key is likely locked on the right side. All right, there's the key. Just gotta run to the right, grab the big key, and mirror back.
Yeah, this is a nice quick dungeon to go mode. Not a lot of opportunity to gain or lose time here via execution, except for on the landmill fight, where you might be able to save a cycle over your opponent, maybe. But both of these runners already demonstrating they're very good, so I would be surprised if we see more than like a 2-cycle even, which, you know, the difference between a 1 and 2 cycle, it is seconds, but it's not like gonna win or lose a race on its own.
Also be interesting to see how they do this. Mikan's already pulling out the fire rod. I imagine he'll just keep that out until he runs out of magic. Yeah, this is tough because it's like we have no idea where Hitsuyan is at this point. I mean, he could have pulled ahead at some point. He could be behind. We just don't know.
Yeah, and especially how close it was before the stream went off. It's like, you know, as far as we know, this could be anyone's game still. But Mikan, having performed, like, I'm trying to think of where Hitsuyan might have been able to gain time or lose time over Mikan. 2-cycle Landmo is not bad that he did on Landmo 2, but that could be one spot. Mikan did have to stop and take the safety room, which maybe Hitsuyan didn't.
Yeah, we don't know, but there's Desert Down. Mikan's just got to go back and finish off Ganon.
So Tempered Sword Silvers, there is not a lot of potential gain or, you know, time gain or loss when you got blue mail 11 hearts. It's not that big of a deal. Probably the biggest difference we might see is how many cycles in phase 1 and phase 2 we might see from Ganon. So the absolute most optimal would be a 2-in-1. What is that right? No, wait, I'm a liar. 1-in-1. It would be a 1-in-1.
Why is Mikan mirroring here?
Because he can save and quit to the...
Yeah, okay, that's a good move. Good move by Mikan. Oh, that makes sense then why he did Aga 1 first. That actually is a really nice move. He loses some health, but that's it.
Yeah. So then, as long as he's confident on his Ganon fight here, I mean, ideally you shouldn't really take a hit at all. If you do take a hit, maybe it's from a fire bat.
But yeah, that actually probably saved him a little time. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about the choice to do Aga 2 right then, back when he did that. But he misses the 1-in-1, just barely, it looks like. So he's doing this 2-in-1. With the cape, does take a fire bat hit. Looks like he's going to take a second one. Oh god, nice. Okay. I didn't think he could dodge that, but he did.
Now his magic's really low. I don't know if he has a potion. He probably has enough magic to finish, but if he runs out of magic, that could be a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he gets the torch glitch, especially with the lamp, it should be safe, home, and free. Even if he doesn't get it, he still might be able to finish with the lamp with silver arrows, but I'm not positive.
There's the first. He's got to get that.
Oh my god!
It.
Mikan!
Oh my goodness!
What a fight! My god! He has one lamp shot after that, which doesn't leave much margin for error. And if he had missed that fire rod shot, which is very easy to do when you're trying to get a torch glitch, that would have been it. Wow, GG Mikan, what a finish!
Okay, so now we're checking the chat. Mikan did finish in first place. Official time 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 46 seconds. And Hitsuyan did decide to forfeit right afterwards. We don't know where he was at that point, but he did forfeit.
Yeah, it looks like he forfeit just about a little over a minute, I want to say, or no. Yeah, around a minute after Mikan finished, so we're not sure where he was at when he finished, but GG to both of them.
And we've got Mikan in the waiting room. Let's bring him in.
Hey, Mikan, GG.
Yo, how's it going? Congrats.
Oh my god, what a finish.
That we have to start with the Ganon finish. I mean, you were almost out of magic. You literally had to have a perfect fire rod shot to finish that.
Didn't I have a blue potion?
Oh. We don't know actually.
I'm gonna load my save. I'm gonna load my save from 20 minutes ago and find out because I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, pretend that I knew that.
Well, you know, we might see on the end screen now. Doesn't it tell you what was in your potions?
Oh yeah, it'll tell us on the end screen. So you might have been better, but still, you had a perfect fire rod shot there.
Yeah,
I
had
that
one.
torch.
Pretend that that was absolutely calculated, and I knew exactly how much magic I had.
Calculated.
Fair enough. So you were a little more safe than we thought.
Yeah.
But still, that was still an impressive shot.
Well, I almost rammed right into him afterwards. I would have died, so I'm glad I didn't do that.
I didn't see that. You almost Ganon hugged?
Yeah.
Oh man.
As soon as he went solid from lighting the torch, I was probably underneath the top of his sprite a little bit, so it was pretty close.
So, what did you think, like, in terms of where you were at in comparison to your opponent and what you were getting from the seed?
I felt okay. I honestly felt like I was doing fine the entirety of the race, but I also checked everything except for, like, the graveyard ledge and the bootlock location, so I probably did a lot more than he did, is what I feel like. I felt okay for the most part, but apparently it was a lot closer than I thought it was.
Yeah, we don't know for certain actually how close it was at the end, but in G Tower at least, you guys were seconds apart. Just like, you know, at one point you were 3 seconds apart in G Tower.
Jeez.
Yeah, but you're right. You did check a little bit more, but actually not much more than Hitsuyan. He managed to avoid Smith, Purple Chest, and K45, but he also did do some of the overworld a little less efficiently. Like he had to double dip for Sahasrahla and Eastern because he checked Sahasrahla early. So that's what kind of made you guys equivalent at the end there.
I see. There really wasn't much room for divergence. That was like the poorest Kakariko I've ever seen. We walked out of there with the hook shot and both boomerangs, and that was it.
Yeah, I think that was about right. You were both forced into an Agana dip to get your power glove, and that kind of started opening things up a little, but not much.
Yeah, it was all like small areas unlocked at a time. Like I don't think after we got the hook shot out of town, we didn't get anything until that glove, right? The hint in Eastern's actually really cool. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, I don't think other than that glove you got in Spec Rock. Well, I mean, you're talking about the other glove at Agana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to remember early game. So you avoided the flippers locations to start, or you avoided like fake flippers, right?
I avoided fake flippers, but as soon as I got them, I used the flippers. I checked all the flipper stuff before I like made my first trip in the Dark World.
Yeah, so we kind of speculated what that might have been about, but yeah, what was your thinking process behind doing that first?
I thought that I'm about to go into Thieves Town. Let's see if I can just grab the hammer randomly. Having both the hookshot and the flippers that early really makes me think swamp, and having that the hint like really solidified that, yeah, we're going into the swamp soon. But so it was really just the hunt for one of the items that are going to let me, because I still needed the hammer and the mirror at that point. It was really just for one of those because I knew I would be going into swamp fairly soon.
Yeah, I guess we saw you do that even when you did enter Village of Outcasts. You kind of skipped Thieves Town, skipped Skullwoods to start, and just kind of beelined it for the high density overworld locations.
As soon as I saw the cape in like one of the first 4 of Thieves Town, I saw the cape in there. I was like, you know what? I bet's gonna happen. Is that hammer's gonna be up there on the bumper ledge, and then I'm gonna have to walk all the way back here to get whatever's in this big chest. But luckily, there wasn't anything in the big chest.
Yeah, that would have sucked. But you were half right.
Half right. But yeah, without the boots too, that just felt really slow. You just got small unlocks one after another. It was just, I don't know, it's kind of boring. There wasn't anything too exciting going on there.
Yeah, it was very linear. But it was exciting from our perspective because it made the game very close, which, you know, I understand as a runner maybe isn't as fun.
Oh, no, that's fine. I would rather have a close race than a blowout either way.
Yeah, so speaking of close race, before this win, you were 1-1 with Hitsuyan, and but it looks like you still have about half of your races left to finish in your group.
I feel a little bit bad about that, but I've been asking everyone for races for the last few days, and I've done, I think I had, last couple days I've had one a day, so we're catching back up. But I hope people in my group come back from AFK or whatever, so we can actually get races scheduled.
Yeah, oh yeah, I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus or anything.
Oh no, it's fine.
But yeah, it looks like you've also won and lost one against Gem, who is currently the group leader.
Yes.
But you have one race left to play.
Yeah, we don't know the settings for that one quite yet. I'm pretty sure Jim's gonna bot me in that one pretty hard, unless we get like the exact settings that I picked in our race.
What was it that you picked in the race that you won?
I picked the most basic of basic open seeds. That's it. Just open, randomized, nothing crazy.
And what was the thought behind doing that? Was there like a strategic decision?
If I'm gonna beat Gem, it's gonna be doing something like super basic or something really stupid and a super basic thing. Because if we like go Sorless or something, I'm sure Gem has better execution there. Or if we go inverted, I'm prone to dying. So that's kind of how we did that one. Yeah,
well, looking at the history here, you and Hitsuyan were really competing in this match for that second place spot. This doesn't decide it, of course, but Hitsuyan now has I believe he has a 7-win, 7 loss, or maybe there's challenge.
Yeah, he's at 7. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing on challenge right now is 7. It will be 7-7 if it hasn't opened up.
Yeah, and so he'll have one more chance to get a win to secure to potentially get into the brackets. Okay, yeah, we confirm on your end screen how you do it at Blue Potion, so that's good. But yeah, for you, you've got 7. You've got 7 games left. I think if you win 5, you're at worst guaranteed a tiebreaker race.
Yeah.
It's a little tough. Like, you've got also Super Taylor in your group, who also has 7 races to go.
Yeah. I think I've done at least one on everyone, so I've already done all of my picks. So I'm now at the mercy of their picks and the random generator. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, well, so just for folks who want to follow this group at home, it's really, I think, Nintaylor does have an opportunity to come back as well. Mikan, though, might be in the favorite position, although you still have a lot of races to finish, but Hitsuyan is not knocked out of the running yet either. So that'll be interesting to see how this shakes out. But Gem with an 11-1 lead, I can't believe that. What a group.
Yeah, it'll be pretty tight for the second place in our group for sure.
Yeah, I think Gem is guaranteed brackets at this point. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't. Yeah, nobody else. One other person, Mikan, you could get to 12 wins somehow, but nobody else can even get to 11 in your group. So I'm pretty sure Gem is already guaranteed a bracket spot.
Well, Nintaylor, if he won every single one of the rest of his matches,
Nintaylor would be at 10-5.
Oh, did he take a loss that I'm not seeing? I must not have refreshed challenge recently.
I've got another spreadsheet up that I think Daring Retreat actually made with a lot of stats from the tournament, and he updates that pretty quickly after races are in.
Oh, nice.
In fact, he's already updated it with Mikan's win.
Nice.
Wow. Good job, Daring Retreat. Yeah, any thoughts about this race? Any other thoughts about this race or future group stage stuff you want to mention?
No. I'm hungry.
Fair enough.
That was my favorite part of the seed as well.
I'm glad I could give you the best interview. I'm sure it was amazing.
It was great. It's great.
All right, I'm gonna take off. You guys can go ahead and do the sign off or whatever. I'm gonna go eat. thanks for doing the whole thing. I'll go back and watch it for sure.
Yeah, it's a great race to come, great race to watch. Thanks for running for us. Thanks to Hitsuyan as well for running for us. Tough race for him, but it's you're a good opponent, so there's no shame in losing to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well played to both runners. It was really exciting to see. Bummed that we missed out on what could have been a close finish, but ended in a forfeit anyway. So we wouldn't have seen like a close Triforce ending at least. So that was the race for today. What do we have coming up? Is the question.
I got the schedule up. Looks like we only have one more race scheduled for a restream right now.
It's Maximum Barnage versus Thalane.
Yep, that is scheduled for 8:30 Eastern on Speed Gaming 5. Nothing else on our schedule right now. It's possible another race gets picked up for maybe an ALTTP randomizer channel, but that's not scheduled yet, so you can keep an eye on that in case it does. We don't have tomorrow's races scheduled yet either, so you'll have to keep an eye there to find out what will be restreamed on one of the channels tomorrow.
Yeah, that race between Maximum Barnage and Thalane is Alt Dungeon, Standard, Uncle Assured, Hard, no variant. I wouldn't be surprised if that's Thalane's pick. He's been picking that a lot. This is my group, so I'm a bit biased, but these are both really good runners. I'm pretty sure Maximum Barnage is the second seed in the group, and Thalane is the first. Thalane is in the first spot in the group, and Maximum Barnage, I think, is third currently. So Maximum Barnage has a lot to potentially gain in this match, and Thalane has something to lose at least. So yeah, that's happening on Speed Gaming 5 at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Commentated by Hacksaw and Jet, which is a very hype commentation team. So check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I won't be able to check it out. I'll be running a race myself at that time.
Oh well, good luck on your race.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just also make sure to thank our tracker, Mind of Me, for joining us here today, keeping track of everything the runners had. Thanks to Speed Gaming as well for showing this race. We should also check and see what's on the Speed Gaming networks. I know on Speed Gaming 1 they have a Super SNES All-Star Marathon going on, or Superstar Marathon, I think.
Oh yeah, that's been really cool. I've loved seeing all these different games that I've never seen speedrun before by really crazy, talented, and entertaining people.
I'm trying to see what game they're on right now. They're on Super Mario World Randomizer. Actually, if you're looking for more LTTP, this isn't a tournament, but there is going to be a Link to the Past Randomizer run as part of that at 7:30 Eastern on Speed Gaming 1. So
is that the crowd control race?
It might be. I'm not 100% sure. It just says Link to the Past on the schedule.
It could be. I know that there's a crowd control scheduled for this weekend. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is also known as Bit Races. They have consolidated technologies, I think, and it's now called crowd control. But it's where you can participate by donating bits to affect the runners, either give them a helping hand or screw them over a bit. And it looks like that the current Super Mario World Randomizer might also be a crowd control race.
Oh, very interesting. But yeah, definitely go check that out. There's also a couple other things on the schedule. There's a Paper Mario 1000-Year Door coming up a little later on Speed Gaming 2. An Undertale run on Speed Gaming 3 later tonight at 10 p.m. So yeah, definitely make sure to check out some of these other events going on the Speed Gaming networks.
Yes, and with that, it has been a pleasure commentating with you, Brewers.
Yep, good working with you, Kern, as well.
And have a good night, everybody. Hope you enjoy the show.
Have a good day, everyone.